What the f? So, BEAU is Afraid is a new horror comedy film directed by Ari Aster. We follow a character named BEAU who in the film is portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix, a man who to say the least is dealing with crippling anxiety, and we find out the next day that BEAU is traveling home to go see his mom, and that is all I'm gonna say about that. Alrighty guys, so let's get into BEAU is Afraid.
Excellent!
BEAU is Afraid, at least in my eyes, has some redemptive qualities to it. The performances, for the most part, I thought were fantastic. Joaquin Phoenix, as you all can imagine, is fucking fantastic. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is amazing in pretty much anything that he does. I will be baffled when Joaquin Phoenix gives just a little okay performance because he is just that good of an actor, giving such a great performance of a man, to say the least, that has really, and I mean really bad anxiety, and I thought that Joaquin Phoenix conveyed that so, especially in some certain sequences where, my god, he fucking goes for it. One particular actress that I must talk about is the actress who plays BEAU's mother. I can't remember who her name is, but I'll put her name right here, but my god, she is fantastic in this film, especially during one particular part of this movie where she is just letting it out on Joaquin Phoenix, and holy shit. Despite what others might think about Ari Aster, I believe, is one of the most unique and creative voices out there. I mean, this movie could definitely not have been made by another filmmaker but Ari Aster. And he definitely has a very unique voice with very unique stories to tell. And I can definitely say that despite my feelings about this movie, I still want to see what he does next. BEAU is Afraid is a colorful and a vivid looking movie, boasting such an amazing and a gorgeous looking movie. I mean, my god. I mean, the shots in this film are striking, gorgeous, with colors that are just begging to be bouncing off the screen. In the first 30 to 45 minutes, I was interested. I was definitely engaged, despite how exaggerated it is, but I was still going like, this is interesting. I want to see where this goes.
Well, that's just fucking great!
With all of that being said, I have to be honest with you all. Knowing how much I've enjoyed Ari Aster's previous two works, I was excited to see this movie. In fact, I took my pal Sarah, who was with me when I saw Midsommar and Hereditary, and we were so hyped knowing the journey that Ari Aster was going to take us on. Once the credits rolled, I turned to my friend, she turned to me, and she said to me, I needed time to process that. And I said to her, I don't think I liked that. As I'm filming this hurts me to say this, but I was not a fan of BEAU is Afraid. Seeing Ari Aster going from one of my favorite horror films to a quite good cult horror film to a movie that I legitimately cannot describe. And before I continue on, getting right off the bat, getting into everything I dislike, starting off with this. BEAU is Afraid is marketed as a black comedy horror film, and as a comedy, don't get me wrong, I laughed maybe a few times, and in fact, one time, I laughed quite hard, but otherwise, this movie wasn't really all that funny, and in terms of a horror film, there is nothing relatively scary about this movie. There is one image in this movie that's unsettling, but it's an image that didn't need to be in the fucking movie. I like some weird shit in movies, but my god, the level of weird this movie goes up to, holy shit! Something else in particular that I want to talk about is the storytelling, and do not worry guys, no spoilers. In the first 30 to 45 minutes, this movie had me in. I was engaged, and while I wouldn't say that I liked the film, the first 30 to 45 minutes had some really interesting stuff and had some moments of brilliance, it had moments of potential going like, okay, let's see where this movie goes. But then this movie does something that after the first 30 to 45 minutes, it goes to a place that I feel like it is completely derails and it meanders and it does this thing that I completely what Ari Aster was going for, but at the same time, it does something and then it gets me again. I was in it again, but where it went from there only made me dislike it. And then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and then it gets to an ending that, no joke to you guys, my jaw dropped, and not in a good way. It ends in a way that really left me highly, and I mean highly unsatisfied of the 3-hour trip that I put myself through. Do not get me wrong when I say this, because I have to admit this to you all. Yes, I'm glad I saw this movie, but did I like the movie? No. There is a particular aspect to Ari Aster's direction that I did not like, and that is this. This is a movie in which we follow a man dealing with crippling, I mean crippling anxiety to the point where this is a movie that takes place and lenses his perspective into the point where we're seeing a reality that is cranked to 11 and anxiety-fueled ride. And here's the thing. You need a director that will execute that in just the right way with a movie with such a heightened reality like that. But unfortunately, in my eyes, the way that Ari Aster executed this reality was so exaggerated to the point where there were many points that not only I couldn't take it seriously, but at the same time, there were points that, my God, I was fucking annoyed. There is a particular part of this movie, guys, where Ari Aster is getting a point across, but this point is hammered and beaten so many times where I feel like I was beaten like a locust in a Gears of War execution. That brings me on to the next point. The pacing. Holy shit. There is a particular part of this movie where it just goes off the rails, it meanders, and I almost fell asleep. It grabbed my attention again. I feel like it gets back on to the point, but then, guys, it goes. When I thought it was gonna end, it kept going, and when I thought it was gonna end again, it kept going. BEAU Is Afraid does not feel like 3 hours. It felt like it was 4.5 hours, if I'm being generous. Like, this movie felt like it took an eternity to end.
And here we go.
So overall, and it hurts me to say this, but I was not a fan of BEAU Is Afraid. BEAU Is Afraid definitely has an interesting start, but unfortunately, as the film goes along, it gets worse and worse and worse, leading up to an ending that had my jaw dropped, and not in a good way. So all in all, I'm gonna give BEAU Is Afraid a 1 out of 5. Some people have loved it, some people have absolutely fucking hated this movie, but personally on my end, can I recommend you see this movie? No, but if you want to see this out of your own curiosity, go for it. But for me personally, I cannot recommend this movie. So comment down below and let me know. Have you guys seen BEAU Is Afraid? What'd you all think of it? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm also on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the names are in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of BEAU Is Afraid. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell for my latest review goes live. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click the right there or right there. And of course, until my next review goes live, I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, guys.